I'm your host, Tim Hanna. Tim Hanna here, as usual. Welcome and thanks for tuning in to the first week's edition of Bearcat Update. I'm your host, Tim Hanna, and what a year we have ahead for you with Northwest athletics and high school sports. Welcome back to Bearcat Update, and it's that time of year. Basketball season is at hand, and for the men's basketball team, they kicked the season off on Friday against Upper Iowa as they drove down to Missouri Western to take part in the Hilliard Top Classic. Now, other than Chris, Ibu, and Dow, the rest of the team was able to make it down there. Chris out with an illness, but the team really didn't need him as they would dominate early. In the first half, Pitts would take over. For a majority of the game, Pitts was beating Upper Iowa by himself as Justin Pitts would go into halftime with 22 points, and Upper Iowa would go into halftime with, you guessed it, 22 points. The Bearcats would lead 46-22, and it would be all Justin Pitts, the reigning MIAA Player of the Year, and possibly most would think one of the best players in Division II, if not the best player. And the way he's playing right now, he's really up for that end-of-season award as he would go 11 for 16, 7 for 11 from three-point land. He'd have 31 total points, 4 assists, and 4 steals in 31 minutes of action. Thanks for tuning in, guys, to another week of Bearcat Update. If you couldn't tell, we're not in the studio. We wanted to get out, change it up a bit. We're here at Bearcat Stadium, actually following the game Saturday as the Lady Bearcats volleyball team took on Fort Hays State. We'll have more of that later on in the show, but first we're going to kick it off with Bearcat football as we caught up with Kyle Zimmerman, the quarterback for the Bearcats, and head coach Adam Dorrell at Media Day. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. Now, well, Bearcat fans, we're taking in all the festivities of homecoming. The ladies of the Bearcat volleyball team were gone on a 2-day road trip through Kansas. Unfortunately for the girls, they dropped their match Friday to Washburn 3-0 and then barely lose out to Emporia State in a hotly contested match that would end 3-2 in favor of the Hornets. Now, not as much this weekend was about the Bearcats and all things Northwest. More football was to be played for Maryville High School as they were in the semifinal of the Class 3 District 8 playoffs, taking on the 4-seed St. Pius X on Friday. The Spoofhounds came into this one the #1 overall seed in Class 3. Here, running back Matt Twaddle takes in a 1-yard touchdown there as he spins off the right tackle. Mispaid PAT gives the Spoofhounds a 6-0 lead, though injured on the play. Senior John Zimmerman as he'd exit the ball game there with an apparent leg injury. Head coach Webb would comment later, said his status is to be determined for next Saturday. Here, Oglesby has a long pass down the field. He has Eli Dowis down the left side, 37-yard touchdown, and that puts the Hounds up 31-7. They'd go on to win 45-7 with 524 yards. Total offense, 305 on the ground, 219 through the air. The Spoofhounds will be in action for the District 8 championship against 11-0 Richmond on Friday night at 7 p.m. Stay tuned. Still to come, I sit down with junior running back Jordan Grove of the Bearcat football team right here on Bearcat Update. Now, with the cold weather, Bearcat track and field has been relegated to the indoor track for practices, and their indoor track season is getting into full swing as they travel to Concordia University in Nebraska on Sunday to compete in their 3rd meet of the year. Maria Babcock got the chance to meet up with some members of the track and field team to preview the rest of the season. Maria?
Indoor season. Reporting for Bearcat Update, I'm Maria Babcock.
Thanks, Maria. The Bearcat track and field team will have 3 more opportunities to prepare for the MIAA Championships coming the weekend of February 24th down in Joplin, Missouri, hosted by Missouri Southern. We're now going to take a look at a high school sport that often gets overlooked and overshadowed by basketball this time of year. Morgan Jones went down the road to Maryville High School to find out how the Spoofhound wrestling team has fared so far this season. Morgan, take it away.
17-year-old.
Thank you guys, though, for tuning in to this week's edition of Bearcat Update with me, Tim Hanna. You can tune in every Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Also follow us on Twitter at BearcatUpdate_8 and on Facebook at Bearcat Update. Signing off for the rest of the crew here, I'm Tim Hanna. You're watching KWT Channel 8.